Hello everyone and welcome back to the Trading Table. This is Andrew, joined with me is Landon, and today we're going to be going over some of the things to watch this week. This is every Sunday we release our weekly outlook, how we're going to make profit this week. So make sure you guys tune in every Sunday because it's pretty crucial, and our plans normally end up working out pretty well. So just looking at our heat map here from Friday, right, we can see relatively neutral. If we take out, the stocks that finished neutral, which is under 1 or over -1, you can see not a lot, right? And even then, it's decently red. I'd say it's 60-40, 60% being red, 40% green. So definitely not the best day for SPY. And jumping to SPY here, let's go to the 1-minute chart. And I do apologize if you hear the clicking of my laptop pad in the background. For those of you who are in our Discord, you know that I am currently not at home right now. I am actually on a cruise. So nevertheless, I brought my laptop, brought my Blue Yeti, right? So we're still going to be making these videos for you guys, and I'll be keeping up as much as I can in the Discord, providing, the cruise's Wi-Fi, which has proven to be pretty bad so far. But nevertheless, we're still going to grind it out. Does not matter. No excuses, right? So looking at SPY here, all right. And if you see these levels, right, these levels I have plotted here, definitely I would say copy these down on your chart, all right? These levels are probably the easiest way to make money during the day, okay? I'm going to be so honest with you guys. It is like you play these levels, support and resistance trading, and it is so easy, so easy. And if we just zoom out here, you can see how slow it's loading just because, the internet here. But if we zoom out here and let it load for a second, we can see that on Monday, right, I had a level down here for SPY at 523. And I ended up playing calls, and it came all the way back up to 527. And especially here on Friday, I had a level at 518. It was a very strong, very notable level. I mean, those calls shot up insanely high. So these levels are very important. And I'll show you how we get the levels in a second. So you guys can even do this on your own. Maybe you don't like one of my levels because it's kind of subjective when SPY gets this high on your levels. But these are mine personally. I'll go over how to get it in a second. But just looking here, we have 536.90 as a resistance. With SPY at all-time highs, it is very, very difficult to find good resistance. So I have this as a level that's not exactly confirmed yet. You could argue, honestly, if you see that right there, we have 3 hits right there at 536.39. I'm going to go ahead and put that in real quick, and that turned on the speech. Apologies. But yeah, so for SPY, right, I would like to see a pullback this week. I really don't like when it's, just stays this high and just keeps climbing continuously, because that's actually not good for the market. Pullbacks are very, very healthy for the market, and I am definitely not opposed to that, right? But, as you can see, this support right here, the 531.27, boom, it hits that. I'd fire up the calls as long as the downtrend momentum isn't too strong, right? And just, guys, just don't get all antsy, right? Don't just, it touched, I'm in, right? Just wait for confirmation. And we made a support and resistance video on our YouTube. You guys can look around for that. You guys can come to our Discord, ask us questions on this. But, support and resistance is a very easy thing to learn, but still a lot of people get it wrong. So you want to make sure you're not getting faked out, right? And that, you just want to confirm that there was a bounce, right? So now just jumping over to some of the big money we called, and me and Landon currently can't even get in a Discord call, so we're actually filming this separate. So there's going to be no extensive analysis of just going off of what Landon said today for our big money plays, but I'm sure Landon will explain them in a great way. Just hold off on those for now, but going over some of our existing big money plays, right? KWeb is actually down pretty bad right now. We had a huge gap down in the pre-market. Very, very unfortunate. If some of you stopped out, very understandable, right? Personally, I did not stop out. I have pretty big goals for KWeb. So my take profit and stop loss are pretty big, right? And your take profit and stop loss should kind of move in correlation to each other. You don't want like a 25% stop loss and then a 10% take profit. That just kind of ruins your probability of when you win. So, just keep that in mind. But looking at KWeb here, right? If we jump out to the hourly chart, I'll jump back to SPY after this and show you guys how we got the levels because I forgot to do that. But just looking at the hourly chart here, we did come up on kind of a nice support for KWeb, I would say. So let's see how this treats it tomorrow morning in the pre-market. But, if it continues lower, then I'll stop out and look to re-enter at a later date. I did check over the weekend. Big money is still in. I will double check again on Monday, and I'll double check again at close on Monday as well. So, these contracts are really far out. They're going for 10.18. But if you have not hopped in already, I would probably consider evaluating entry for this. So many people are bullish on China stocks. It is actually insane. And we did have, from my memory, I do remember having some big money plays from Friday where we did have some short-term bearishness for FXI, which is another Chinese ETF, and also for KWeb. Once again, those are just short-term bearish plays, right? They're just short-term bears that want the market to go lower. The expiration date was like 6/28. So this one with an expiration of October 18th, not really too worried about this play at all. But you know what? I'm sticking to my plan. My stop loss is 40%. If I stop loss out, I stop loss out. That's it. No hate, emotionless trading, right? And then I'll look to re-enter. I did that with TLT. So I'll just jump over to TLT real quick before I go over how to get levels on SPY. And TLT, I re-entered it on Tuesday last week. So right around here. And then I rode it up to around 93.50. So I had a good entry, good sell. I stopped out around here when it hit 90. I was down, I think, 30%. That was my stop loss. I stop loss out, re-entered, boom, made everything I lost back and more with TLT. So good example of how you can always do that. But now, as promised, I'm going to stop, rambling on, and I'll show you guys how I get these levels. So some levels are obviously notable, more notable than others. But, as I said, as SPY gets to all-time highs, it is very, very difficult to, draw out support or draw out resistance as it is support. Support is always a lot easier. So as you can see, this 518, right? This 518 is very notable. We have two, candles coming down, touching it. Over here was acting more as a resistance and a support. We have it acting as a resistance here, right? And we go over all this in our support and resistance video. But that's just kind of a recap of how we do it. I'm not going to get too into it. You guys should check out that support and resistance video if you want to know more. But just taking a look at AAL here. AAL, I absolutely hate this airline. I hate the stock. I hate everything about AAL, to be honest with you. AAL is just holding up somehow. I'm assuming it's buyers over some of the worst news in a company I have ever seen. I mean, at this point, I think they could come out and say that the CEO of AAL SA'd a 3-year-old woman, and it would still go up. I don't know how it is staying up. It's just bad news article after bad news article after bad news article. It's just not ending, and they're still holding up, and they're not dropping lower than this significant drop off. I mean, we're on the hourly chart right now, and all you see on this day is just red candles, right? So it's pretty crazy for AAL. But yeah, AAL, a lot of bearish investors, especially for the long term here, for a good reason, right? I mean, just the top news article, big pension fund. Sorry, I don't know why that's not going away. There we go. A big pension fund bought stock of Temu parent PDD. So I remember seeing an article. This is a new one, I believe. Yeah, June 7th. So relatively new. But I remember seeing an article about how this American pension fund bought PDD and sold American Airlines, which is actually insane considering it's an American pension fund, because PDD is a Chinese stock. Obviously, they own Temu. For those of you who know what Temu is, it's Chinese owned. So an American pension fund sold a company with the name America in it and bought a Chinese stock. When that news came out, I bet you can guess what happened. They didn't drop lower, right? I really, honestly, I think they're on the edge of falling off a cliff. But nevertheless, keep your stop losses. We did see some good price action, fortunately, on Friday and Thursday, right? We're dipping below this 1141 support that we have, that me and Landon got. I think the support was through Bookmap, I believe. I don't know. It could be key levels too, but you know, nevertheless, I'm watching AAL, and I hope it falls off the face of the earth, right? As it should. Looking at gold real quick, I am going to be checking on 9:30 on Monday if Big Money is still in gold, because this is like a historically good buy-in if they still are. If they didn't get stopped out, I don't know. You just have a degenerate gambler sitting behind his screen throwing like $1 million into this stock in options. So we'll see with gold, but we did enter in this like dip right here. I believe it was either Wednesday or Tuesday, and I'm sorry, I can't double check my information. Oh, it was Tuesday. I remember this spike. This was okay. Sorry. Yeah, I can't double check my information because, like I said, my Discord's not loading. So it's probably gonna have to, it's probably gonna take about 8 hours to upload this video to Landon to get this edited. But nevertheless, we're gonna stick it out, right? So looking at gold, we entered around here, which was not ideal entry, but nevertheless, entry doesn't really matter when you're up 35%. So, great play on gold. We did sell a little early, but you know what? Thank God we sold, and we stuck to our plan in our Discord because it just fell off the face of the earth. And it did because the dollar actually had quite a run. And this is going to take a second to load. There we go. So if we look at the dollar here at around 8:30, I forgot what economic data came out. Some economic data came out, and I'll be going over the economic data for this week later because it is crazy this week how much we have. But 8:30, boom, shot up, and gold, boom, shot down. So as the dollar kind of corrects, because I'm sure that this wasn't exactly too much of a move, depending on what move this, right? So just be sure to join our Discord because we're going to be going over that tomorrow to see like if the dollar is kind of going to downtrend again. But for the past, I'd say a month or two, you could maybe even call it almost 3 months, the dollar's been on a downtrend, right? And to be honest, you see like how these kind of peak. Now this is just from economic data, I believe, or maybe something came out. Maybe I can see it in the news. No. U.S. dollar bounces as strong job reports. Okay, that might have been it. Not really sure, but nevertheless, the dollar is on a downtrend. So let's just keep an eye out, right? The last time we saw a green candle print out like this, it kind of did have a nice uptrend. So we will keep an eye on it, right? But as of now, I still have the dollar in a downtrend, right? We just draw like a very, very like poorly drawn trend line here. We can kind of see that from this peak right here to right over here. It's a decently strong trend line, right? You've got a hit there. It kind of broke through here, but that's not enough to break it, as you could see, and then kept trending down. But dollar, I definitely have it to the downside. So I'll be double checking to see if Big Money is still in gold. But as of right now, I have gold to the upside in the long term. Long-term shares, boom, pick them up right here, right? We also did have a Big Money play for PDD. So definitely watch PDD, right, guys? I kind of scalped it in a way. I mean, I like day traded it. Like we had Big Money in it, but if you guys are following along in the Discord, not exactly 100% sure what day it was. It might have been Tuesday or it might have been Wednesday. I'm not exactly sure. I'm pretty sure it was Tuesday because I remember when it broke above, I was pretty happy. But it hit this 144 support we had, right? I hopped in some calls and it trended up the rest of the day. So great play. Thankfully, didn't hold it because we did, have a bounce here. And I'll stop moving my cursor for a second and move it out the way and go full screen of the chart so you guys can see my levels here for PDD. Just keep these in mind because as you can see, when they touch them, tend to bounce, right? Tend to bounce up pretty high. And these resistances as well are something to watch. I got decently lucky around here with the buyers coming in to push above this resistance. But, that is a risk you have to be willing to take, right? So PDD, I'll check if Big Money's still in that as well, and we'll have that in the recap on Monday. But jumping over to Landon now to go back over our Big Money plays from Friday.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. So moving on to our first Big Money play, we have ticker symbol NEM. Just to reiterate the call out from the bot, The big money play was a put at a strike of 37.5 with an expiration of 12/20/2024 and a total premium count of 624K and a total volume of 2.98K. Looking at this play so far, had a pretty good rundown on Friday. If we look at the technical analysis for this stock, it looks like there's a lot of selling pressure. So I'm really liking this for the long term. And I mean, if there's 624K premium stacked up at that strike of 37.5, we could see a little bit more movement there. So definitely eye up some puts there. But moving on to our next one, we have ticker symbol FXI. And boy, this one had a great rundown on Friday when we called it out. But just to reiterate this one as well, it's a put option contract at a strike of 26.5 with an expiration of 6/28/2024 and a total premium count of 1.07 million and a total volume of 21K. And that volume's really high. I like that. Premium count 1.07 million. I mean, if there's a million total premium stacked up at a price, you know it's definitely gonna move. And boy, did it move down on Friday. So congratulations to everyone that was able to hop in. That if you guys want plays like this, you know the bot is always calling them out in the Discord, and it's free, by the way. Just click the link in the description, and boom, you'll get plays like this all the time. But moving on to our next one, we have ticker symbol NRG. Just to reiterate the big money play for this one as well, it was a put at a strike of 70 with an expiration of 9/20/2024 and a total premium count. You guys ready for this? Total premium count of 2.43 million and a total volume of 6.88K. That's a lot of money stacked up there. We saw it chop out on Friday, but you know that doesn't really worry me too much. We didn't really see a lot of upward movement, so that's good to see. But chopping out, you know, we still have some time there on those contracts, so wouldn't stress too much on about that. But in terms of long term, or not long term, but you know, in terms of the next 2 weeks, we'll definitely see it moving down for sure. But moving on to our next one, this is our only call for ticker symbol XEXPE. To reiterate the call out for this one, it's a call at a strike of 125 with an expiration of 9/20/2024 and a total premium count of 929K and a total volume of 1K. This one's a little on the safer side, but regardless, it's still hitting. You're still making money here. A premium count of 929K, that's a lot of money, even though it's not over a million. I'm really liking this one just because of the momentum that's pushing it up, and the way it's moving, it's beautiful. I love this setup. You might be a little scared just because it's so high. Maybe wait for a little bit of pullback on Monday, but we'll definitely be keeping an eye out on this one in the Discord. But for our final one, we have for ticker symbol KWEB, KWEB. And for this one, it's actually the opposite of our long-term outlook for this stock. This one's actually a put for the strike of 28.5 with an expiration of 6/28/2024 and a total premium count of 534K and a total volume of 10K. I'm liking this one just because it's like a short-term play. It's just to play off this little bit of a reversal we're seeing. But like Andrew was saying for SPY, just going up straight up is never healthy for a stock or for an ETF. You need a little bit of a bounce down just to kind of ensure that healthiness of the stock. And that's kind of what we're seeing right here. So this is definitely a short-term play, not for the long term. But in terms of long term, the outlook for this stock is bullish. I mean, it's a buy for sure. I'm loving the outlook, and I'm loving the outlook for all Chinese stocks, unless they attack Taiwan. That's a totally different story. But moving on from there, those are our big money plays for the week. But just some long-term stocks we're going to be looking at. For the first one, our first one's Apple. So in terms of Apple, on Monday, Apple has the Worldwide Developers Conference. And this is, I mean, the anticipation for this is crazy. If you guys know, our long-term outlook for this is super bullish. We love this stock, and in terms of Monday, they could be launching their AI, and if they launch their AI, that's massive. Apple's always been a little bit more reserved, hasn't really made too many moves in the AI sector. So definitely watch out for Apple on Monday because we don't know what we're gonna see. There's a lot of speculation that we're gonna be hearing about their AI reveal. So definitely watch for Apple this week because we could see a massive move up if they release some sort of like crazy AI. And I'm a big fan of Apple. I think their growth is just amazing, and they kind of dominate. But some other things we're looking at. The first one is Nvidia. Oh, sorry. So Nvidia, if you guys were watching our video on Friday, Nvidia is this week is splitting 10-1. So we definitely want to watch out for Nvidia. Historically, after a split, the stock kind of drops down quite a lot. So I would definitely I would watch out for the stock for now. But as soon as we start to see a little bit of an uptrend after that initial drop down, then that's the time to buy in. I wouldn't buy in right after the split just because of how historically a stock drops tremendously after a split. But besides that, we also have Tesla and the entire fiasco that's going on with Elon Musk and his $56 billion pay package. There's expected to be a vote on Thursday, so we'll definitely have to watch out for this stock. One thing I will say about this stock is if you guys are into trends and stuff, to start the day for Tesla, there seems to always be some sort of a initial drop, and then kind of build back up. So if you guys want to watch that beginning of day and then play that's always a good trend. Me and Andrew have made quite a lot of money off of that just because it's kind of evident in every day to start the day. But moving on from that, our last long-term kind of news outlook for this week is GameStop. And I mean, I'm sure you guys were watching the live stream, or if you didn't, you've seen clips of it. And yeah, I mean, the live stream maybe wasn't the best move for him, but I think he kind of protected himself a little bit from that case that they're trying to build up. I think he definitely has a plan, because if he doesn't have a plan and he's truly as smart as he seemed in the live stream, everybody in GameStop might be a little screwed. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll definitely have to watch this stock this week. But other than that, back to you, Andrew.
Looking at our economic calendar for this week, remember I was talking about this early in the video, guys, with the dollar shooting up, and you guys would not believe how long it took to load this page. It's kind of historic, but we have core CPI coming out on Wednesday, right? For month on month and year on year. Keep an eye on this, right? We have CPI coming out, and the Fed, which is economists in the government, they kind of use CPI to measure inflation and how it's moving. We also have crude oil inventories coming out. So remember, guys, when you see 3 stars, it's most likely to affect the market in a volatile way. Tuesday, we have 10-year note auction. That shouldn't really affect it too much unless it comes in like an absurd number. That doesn't really change that much, though. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then here we have, the big one, right? Power hour is going to be rocking in the market. And if you guys don't know what power hour is, it's from some people call it 2:30 to 3:30 in the market, the last hour of the market where people are, closing out their trades and whatnot. And there's just increased volume. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Fed meetings, and we have a Fed interest rate decision. So the market on, what is this, Wednesday? Yeah, the market at Wednesday after 2 is going to be like a war zone. All right, it's going to be insane. So I wouldn't advise trading to this if you're a beginner investor, but if you can handle the heat, hop in the kitchen, guys. I mean, this is going to be a crazy day. Thursday we have the 30-year bond auction. We have PPI. which is producer price index. And then we have initial jobless claims. A lot of things move in the market. Fed monetary policy report. Not exactly 100% sure what that is, but something to look at for sure. And if you guys want to see this calendar, just go to investing.com and then click on economic calendar. It should be up here, like in that white bar.
Yeah, for sure, Andrew. Definitely make sure to check out that economic calendar, guys. There's definitely some crazy things happening this week in the market in terms of, big news coming out. But in terms of earnings, if we just take a look at earnings for a second here, kind of a snooze fest. We don't have a lot of companies reporting earnings this week, but there is some notable ones, like Oracle. Oracle, definitely we want to watch that. We also have Broadcom coming out after close on Wednesday. We have Adobe, and then a new IPO. This is actually pretty exciting right here. They plan to combine healthcare with AI. So I don't know. Maybe you guys want to. We might see a little bit of drop to start the first few weeks for this company. But other than that, this could be a pretty good buy-in here because how AI is moving, and the fact that they're combining healthcare with AI, that's actually pretty exciting right there. Just to show you guys a few of their stats for their IPO, as we could see, their market cap, their share price, $35, $37, not super expensive. Shares offered, 11 million. But other than that, guys, this is the end. I know it was a long video today. There's just a lot of things happening this week, so I definitely wanted to, just come on here and talk about it a little bit. We'll be active all week in the Discord. The Discord is free, so if you guys, maybe just check it out for a little bit, try it out, see what it's like. We're building our own little community, so we could all win together. That's the goal, right? Wall Street, they have all these resources and stuff, so us, retail investors, we gotta stick together, because if not, Wall Street and their money, that's it, they play us. But that's all for today, guys. Take care and have a happy Sunday.